Hey everyone, and welcome back to No Sleep Theater, the Collector's Vault. I'm your host, DB Keebler, the Collector. This week we have some really exciting things going on. One of our favorite sources for creepy and terrifying events, Roozea, has uncovered some rather startling things. Today we're going to address some disturbing events where we find out what happens to someone when they take being a mommy's boy too far. And make sure to check back tomorrow for a bonus video that will introduce a series of investigations that we were originally alerted to by Roozea. Before we get into the story, make sure to press that like and subscribe so you can be alerted every time we upload a new video. And without further ado, Asambe. Mummy's Boy by Roozea. Mommy's Boy. No two words could better describe Bobby. At 32 years old, he clung to his mother like an overgrown infant, his bald and homely head doing nothing to appease the amusing similarity. Cursed with a prematurely wrinkled, leathery face and followed by a natural aroma strongly resembling that of curdled milk, he never really stood a chance out in the real world. Every person Bobby ever met would turn their nose up at him. Everyone, except his mother, of course. Maybe then, the heavy bags beneath those bug-like eyes of his indicated something other than fatigue. Depression was a definite possibility as far as I, or more importantly, any outsider could tell. From my extensive observations, I'd come to know Bobby's daily routine like the back of my hand. Most days, he'd wake shortly after 11 a.m. and waddle down to the dining room, where his loving mother would surely have a piping hot breakfast prepared for him. After shoveling it down like a rabid pig, he'd retreat back to his room and spend the remainder of the day at his desk, staring gormlessly at his computer screen with a giant headset jammed over his misshapen ears. Bobby didn't have a job. To my knowledge, he hadn't worked a day in his entire miserable life. He was nothing but a stain, a pathetic leech on society. Just the idea of him sickened me. My mind was made. I extracted a cheap pay-as-you-go mobile from a trouser pocket and sent out a hasty one-word text. Deal. Shortly after, the phone buzzed with a response.
Thank you for doing this. As agreed, half the payment has been transferred to the account you specified. You'll have the rest when the job is done.
After ensuring the 10K payment had indeed gone through, I sent one final message. It happens tonight. Later that evening, a short while after Bobby's mother had left for a fitness class, I found myself standing mere feet from his shadowy figure silhouetted against the glowing monitors. A length of rope had drawn taut between my gloved hands. I advanced slowly and quietly, creeping closer until he was within arm's reach. But my God, that stench of his. I suffered defeat at the hands of that brief internal struggle and ended up gagging loudly, cursing as I did so. Bobby's head snapped back to face me, brow furrowed in confusion. "Oh, hey, Dad." His yellowed, bloodshot eyes wandered down to the rope I held tightly in my grasp. What are you doing with that?" Without missing a beat, I quickly tossed the rope over his sweaty, doughy neck, crossed the two ends and pulled them in opposite directions, ignoring my son's choked cries and the putrid smell that flooded my nostrils. He soiled himself before he died. Of course he did. Even at the end, he somehow managed to find new ways to disappoint me. When the deed was done, I set about stringing Bobby's corpse from a sturdy light fitting. I made certain before leaving the scene that foul play was not suspected, though it was probably a wasted effort. Nobody would look too deep into this. I was certain of it. My wife's reaction upon discovering the body was a predictable one. She was a sobbing, inconsolable mess for days. I pretended to care as she wept into my shoulder, but my mind was busy wondering whether or not a 7-foot pool table would fit inside Bobby's newly vacated room. Something did bug me though. It didn't really matter, of course, but I had to wonder, who would call a hit on Bobby in the first place? The guy never left the house, so who in their right mind would pay so much money to be rid of him? Was it simply random? Surely not. Maybe an online acquaintance of his? I doubted that too. On a hunch, I decided to check my wife and I's shared account for any recent transactions. I was stunned to find that two $10,000 payments had been made within days of each other. I swelled with pride at the thought of it. Bobby's loving mother, my beautiful wife, was one hell of an actress. Wow, that was a disturbing story. It had me all choked up. I guess Bobby's dad was at the end of his rope. So let's see what we're able to collect from this story. He's a Nagalfa. Oh, it's the rope that was used to choke Bobby, complete with Dorito dust caked into it. Not the best display piece, but it does have a lot of energy coming off of it. If you guys enjoyed tonight's video, make sure to show your support by pressing the like and subscribing. And again, don't forget to check out our bonus video tomorrow, which kickstarts our new investigation. And we'll see you next time. Inguwa Kumava.